shit. Hold on. Get the pixelation out of here. Bring that motherfucking high definition crystals. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with y'all? It's another beautiful evening. Sunday. We're here, 7 o'clock, so you know what time it is. Another conversation. We are going to be featuring the lovely Miss Davis, If You Dancing, to talk about tonight's topic, which is Mama Ain't Shit, Daddy Wasn't There. You know what I mean? I hope y'all were able to get outside, get some fresh air. It's been a beautiful day. It only rained a little bit, so the entire afternoon and the evening has been it's been warm. It's been something that you can go outside and, you know what I'm saying? Get out the house a little bit. Get some fresh air. Get some nature in your life, you know what I'm saying? But before we allow, you know what I'm saying, the conversation to flow how it should, how it would, and we get not only Dash in here, but Miss Davis as well. You know what time it is. Just sending out the invites to people that, you know what I mean, have joined us in consistency as well as familiarity as far as our content is concerned. And just get things started. So boom, 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 boom. And maybe a boom, 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 boom. Nah, not a boom, but a boom. You dig? Media man, what's going on with you? Dash is up in the building, so let's send that invite too.
Tapped in. Hey, what up, everybody?
Miss Davis, how are you doing, love? How are you?
I'm awesome.
Right on. Yeah. Dash, what's going on with you, fam?
How y'all living? Is that me? I hear like a lot of wind in the background.
All right, I'll turn my fan off. You know I'm hot natured.
Oh, okay. Yeah, same.
My son said, "Turn that off. You're gonna be talking."
Shout out to your sir. You know what I mean?
know he
on top of it.
Yeah, but I be hot, so bear with me.
Oh no, I understand completely. Like the shifting weather is definitely not good for the soul.
Yeah.
But I love the heat better than I love the cold, so don't get me wrong. This has been Love Sunday.
Hold on, I gotta put the topic up. I'm tripping. You know what I mean? I see everybody that's walking up in here, joining the chat. Much love, y'all. Thank y'all. How y'all living? Meteor Man said, chilling, beloved. How you brothers and sisters doing? We doing lovely. We doing smooth. You know what I mean? So.
Can I tell y'all that I forgot?
Oh, yeah?
I did. Yep. I was walking around with like 20 plants sticking up.
Ooh.
And I looked and was like, oh, I gotta get myself together. So I gotta get myself together. I can't be looking crazy on here.
Hey, look, you got it together quite well, if I may say so myself. So
I know you look beautiful. Like
I got a mismatched eyelashes, but y'all can't.
Oh, see, I ain't even know.
It's okay.
Right on. You know, all right.
You brought us this topic, so what was the energy behind it?
So I think I sent you something like maybe a month ago,
Yeah.
and I was like, we need to hear this topic, and it was saying that, baby daddies do the same thing that their dad did to their moms, but they say that my thing is like us as women, we say we don't want to be like our mom, or we're going to do things different. When we raise our kids, and same thing with the fathers, but we wind up actually doing the same things, or we see our parents in us as we're raising our kids.
Mm-hmm.
But the topic basically was how men and women, I guess, cheat when their dads did it to their parents, or vice versa. They had an issue with it, but now that woman or man can do the same thing, then it's like it's okay, it's fluffed. If that makes sense.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I want to speak. It's not necessarily a cheating aspect for me, but it's within the same groove line. It's within the same vein.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of learning stuff from your parents, even if your parent ain't there, you know what I mean? Because this shit is genetics too. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I know that for me, when I was growing up, still growing up, like niggas acting like I'm fucking 70 years old or some shit. When I was younger, I had a real disdain for my biological father because I heard things about him, and you know, physically I could see that he wasn't in my life. So I had a thing against that. You know what I mean? I had a real,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? And the things that I hated about him, I learned that it was easier for me to pick up because I was within the vein of hatred. You know what I'm saying? Like the only thing that could really combat hate is love, if you really think about it. But
Mhm.
go hate for hate, y'all, you just in the line of familiarity. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
not like you know what I mean. You trying to get rid of poison by you know what I mean, inducing more poison. That shit don't really make sense. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say, you know, the things that I would see that I hated my dad for, I adopted. Like it's easier for me to detach myself from people, kind of like the same way my dad wasn't me. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
For
Mhm.
those people, it's easy for me to detach from people. You know what I'm saying? Um, my dad was real sensitive, even to the degree that he would do some wild ass shit as far as trying to express certain insecurities or even certain things that he would worry about to my mom, and it was toxic as fuck. Like my biological dad put a knife to my mom's neck and was like, "Don't ever leave me," type shit. I ain't never did nothing like that, but where I would, where my sensitivity is, I would always be on some shit where it's easy for me to just go cold or for me to get real calculative regarding, you know what I'm saying, like if I'm with a significant other when I was younger and shit. And I'm
Mhm.
not even trying to figure out the system. I'm not even trying to figure out the problem. I'm not even trying to look at it from a let's resolve it. I'm just looking at it like, oh, are you gonna do that for me? You gonna do that to me? I'm gonna respond. You know what I mean? And how I'm gonna respond is gonna be worse than how you do me. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So even though I didn't do what my dad did, because I was still looking at it from the vein of hatred, I was still doing what my dad did, just in a different way.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I feel like because we get caught up, and this is just once again from my perspective, because we get caught up so much in like the hatred or like I don't want to be, I don't want to be, I don't want to be, instead of the I want to be's. Like even if it's I want to be this, that, and the third, and it has nothing to do with your parents.
Mhm.
Not even focusing on the I want to be's. We're like, I don't want to, I don't want to, I don't want to.
Mhm.
The fucking us in the end.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm gonna echo those same sentiments for the most part because I do feel like when you're focusing on what you don't want to be about your parents, you're almost programming your brain to focus in on those particular traits about your parents. So why are you saying that's what you don't want to be? You're programming your brain to remember those traits. So that's what you're naturally going to become because you're almost teaching yourself at that point. This is how to handle yourself in each situation. You, you hate it, like that's the behavior you picking up. And I think we all kind of go through that. I mean, for myself speaking, I got like certain behaviors like from my mom that I dislike that I like to change about myself. Like even like my smoking the cigarettes, like that came from me just watching my mom do it. And I used to tell myself, I ain't never gonna get to that point. Then I got to the point where I'm smoking 2 packs a day, and then I had to start dialing myself back. Like, and it's just like that tug of war, like, cause it's something I've seen so often, like. And I have been seeing like the negative side effects that the world attributes smoking with. So it's just like it's hard for me to wrap around myself the dangers of it at times because it's just like I haven't seen those dangers, but I know of them. So like I'm trying to like get myself in order where I'm just like, all right, trying to stay on. That's like, no. You didn't smoke today. All right, good. I ain't smoke either. Like, but yeah, it's all learned behavior. It's learned behavior. That's where I'm pretty much summing it up to be, like learned behavior.
Okay. So my dad wasn't there. And my mom was there, but she wasn't there. So my grandma and my aunt kind of raised us in church. That's the savings grace. I did go to church. I love the Lord. I had my moments. I'm not perfect. I'm a little crazy, and I get it. But I guess it's just realizing it as I'm going on. I'm like, she didn't show me affection, but my grandma didn't show her affection. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna make sure I do this with my kids. Then when I'm cussing my kids out, I'm like, yo, you like your mom. I never said it out. I never said that I would not cuss at my kids because sometimes you got to cuss these kids out,
Yeah.
especially now since they're 20 years old.
Okay,
I
yeah,
give it to him.
definitely.
20, and the other one going on 22, I give it to him. But I guess the realization is when you actually realize it as you're doing something that remind you of your parent in that moment. It's like, okay, you don't want to focus on the negative, but you don't want that negativity to go into as you're raising your children. So it's like, okay, I sound like my mom. So what can I do to fix this?
Yeah.
How can I back it up where that I don't want my kids to resent me? You know, like some issues I may have had with my parents. So it's like I have to try to regroup things and fix things. So I guess that's the part for me, like realizing it. I had moments I'd be sitting here like, yo, you sound just like I sound just like my mom. So everything about my mom and my dad is not bad. But the things that I needed to fix, like those things, you know, need to be adjusted. You don't want to be a certain person or certain aspects of what you're raised around, but it's a lot of prayer and, you know, regrouping and getting yourself together on a daily basis that will kind of keep you focused on being a good parent, a good person, a good mate, you know, all of those things. So,
And I think that's part of like expanding your circle too, and like making sure your circle includes everything that you're looking for in life and the people surrounding you. So like you want people that's like doing well off financially or super educated or super emotional or whatever the case may be. You start incorporating them into your circle, so you in turn and start learning how to be that type of person, so you can teach those around you to be those type of people. You know, like your loved ones that obviously aren't going anywhere, but you still gotta try to mend some type of fence and where like both sides are feeling met. Where I'm not hating your presence, but I don't want to feel like I'm just tolerating you anytime I'm in your presence either.
Mm, mm,
mm,
that's real.
that's a good point.
It is. It's a
Right.
real.
I mean, like it's real. Like I mean, it's something I'm learning personally myself. Like,
The older I get, I just see, like, I think the last a couple episodes ago, y'all was talking about how you got to know yourself and love yourself and be okay with yourself. You know, a lot of people can't accept who they are as a person, and they do put that off on other people.
Yeah.
But it's all about self growth and just understand who you are, who your family is, and just pick out the positive parts that you want. Like you said, I'm saying I don't want to be these things about my parents or family, but then you see those things instead of saying, hey, I'm gonna pull the positive parts from my mom and my dad
yeah.
and try to work on this other part down here at the bottom. That's the negative part that I see in myself to try to make everything positive. So,
Because the way I'm thinking is like, well, the way I'm thinking now is like the more positive I think about situations, the more positive the outcome. Like when I'm focusing on the negative, that's when the negative going to occur because that's all I'm prioritizing my brain for. So like as I'm just wishing for the positive. I ain't even trying to think about the negative for the results. I'm just like, even with anything in life at this point, I'm just like all in. I'm just like all positive. And I actually was having a conversation with my mom the other day, and she was just like, "You looking at life real glass full ish instead of like half full." And I'm just like, you know what? If I'm not, then it'd be what it is. But I'm just going to take that approach, like my glass is full, and then wherever it lands, I'll just be comfortable with that where I'm at from here.
yeah.
Respect to it. Respect to it. There's a few comments that's popping in the comment section right now. Pretty Rude said, "Dysfunction breed dysfunction. Our first inner voice is our parents. Projection
Mhm.
is real." That's facts. Even so much to the degree that my mom, you know what I mean, God rest her soul, she used to do something that I didn't really like, and because I didn't really like, once again, it's something that I picked up on. So when she would talk in third person about a situation, she would talk in her voice regarding the situation normal. But whoever the other voice was, even me, she would talk mad aggressive. It would be like a different voice. And when it had to do with me or whatnot, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would feel some type of way. I'm like, I don't sound like that. Why are you using that voice in the back of my head? But I ain't gonna talk back. But like, I dislike that so much. But it's something that I even do now. I gotta hold myself accountable now because it's something that I do. When somebody piss me off, I'll be like, man, listen, man, I was just saying this, that, and the third to him, and this motherfucker go, "Man, you ain't in there. Well, you did it." You know what I'm saying? Like,
I ain't. Well, I do that too. Like, man, I ain't even gonna hold you. Like, look, what? If I'm describing the story, yeah. Like, what you mean? Like, like if I'm describing the story to somebody, yeah, you got the animated voice. I got how I think you sounded in that moment, you know, or how you came off to me in that moment. So, however I viewed you, that's how you're gonna come off in my story. Like, that's my interpretation of things. You know, there's multiple sides to every story. You know, all of them could be correct.
But it all depends on how the person receives you too.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why texting is kind of dangerous, because if
I
you're
don't like
mad
to
and you're
argue with
texting,
text. Yeah,
yeah, you can't, because it's, yeah, no,
no,
yeah, you be saying something smooth and thinking it's cool, and then they be all mad because they think you said something
right.
fly, and it's just the way it's translated across the text.
Oh,
So
I know. I got cussed out for okay a few times. I'm just like, it's two letters. Okay. Where's the argument?
yeah, man. I try not to. If it's emotional, if it's something that's deep, man, we ain't even gotta text about it. Like, I'd rather call. But it's also depending on the person. I don't have that accessibility with everybody. Like, and this could be something that I'm at fault with. I'm cool. I could live and die with this and still be at peace. But depending on the person, like if it's something that's emotional that requires like, yo, I need to feel where you coming from, I don't want to text. Let's talk. You know what I mean? If I can't see you and sit down with you face to face, let's talk. However, if it's somebody that's, you know what I mean, it's emotionally connected, but they just not as close, and you're going to have to get what you get from me. It is. But we have another comment by that African butterfly. She said, "You attract what you focus on, even if it's negative."
That's true.
but the hard part is when you're thinking that you don't think it's negative. You think you're doing something positive. So if I'm like, oh, I'm not going to do this, like my mom, my dad, my grandma, my
That's
aunt,
negative though.
they all crazy. Yeah, but in my head, I'm like, I'm not going to do this negative thing.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I'm saying it's negative even with the thought of saying like, let me not focusing on this negative. Like that was already the negative start right there. Like you opened
Exactly.
up the Pandora box to negative by saying, yo, this is negative. I don't want to do
Yeah.
this. So you already put like some energy out there. So you already attract the negativity, whether it's small, big, medium, whatever. Like,
Yeah, but back then I didn't know that.
oh yeah. Well, I
That's
mean,
the
you
key.
know,
So if you don't know, you thinking like, oh, I don't want to be like this, or I don't want to do this. I'm going to make sure I do this. You're not thinking it's negative. You're thinking you're pushing out some positive, like you're putting out the affirmation in the air, like I'm not. So it's going to be positive.
oh, no.
So it depends on, you got to get to that point where you know what's negative and what's positive, because, everybody don't know that.
See, my
That comes with
grandma,
growth
she told
and
me,
maturity.
oh,
Go ahead.
oh, my bad. I ain't want to cut you off. No, 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 no.
Go ahead. Mm-mm.
Oh, so my grandma, she told me like when I was a kid, she was just like, when you asking for favors for the Lord, or when you want your positive to come in, you just be specific in what you're asking for. Like, don't ask for what you don't want. Ask for what you do want. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
be like, I want to be a great person. How do I want to be a great person? I want to be great at school. I want to be great at basketball. I want to be great at whatever it is. Like, project that. Don't even focus in on what you don't want. Like, because already you already hurting yourself with that mindset. Like, and that's something that stood with me. Like, well, even to now, like that was like something that when she said to me younger, it just kind of rolled with me my whole life. And it was just like, all right, like whenever I'm down, I'm just like, all right, I'm not focusing on the positives enough. Like, what do I got going
Mm-hmm.
on for myself? Like, what can I look to keep myself motivated, or pick my spirits up?
That's a fact.
I think that's the issue too, though. That you had someone to put that little nugget in the back of your head and you kept it there. Everybody don't have that.
Mm.
Everybody don't have the positivity within the family or within whatever circle that they're in. So that's a great thing. And you're young and you thinking like that. So that's like great, but back in the day, mm-mm. Like they would say, oh, you fat. I was like 13. I ain't had no stomach, no nothing. How I'm fat? So, you grow up. I'm like, I'm always fat. So when I look back on pictures 5 years from now, I'm like, can I be that fat right now? Because right now, I'm a little chunkier than that. So it's like your family put more negativity out there sometimes. It depends on the family and who, it depends on the family.
No, that's real. That's real. That's definitely real.
That's a super fact. We have a question in the comment section by Mizzy Mia. He said, do you guys think that kids that have a parent who wasn't present growing up should meet them if the chance came? Ooh,
Yes.
I got a
Yes.
story too.
That's a good one. I got a story too.
All
Y'all share your stories because I'm just saying yes. I do feel
All
like you
right,
should.
so my twins are now 20.
right.
When I told their dad that I was pregnant with, I only thought I was pregnant with one child. Okay. Um, he basically said he really pretty much ain't want nothing to do with them. I don't believe in abortion. I scheduled an appointment twice, but I'm like, they're gonna suck my liver out or something extra. So I'm gonna keep this kid. Found out I was having two. They did have not been in their life, but they had enough positive role models and family, church, everybody that were positive, and they're 20 and they're doing great. I told them that I told my son this today or yesterday. He was like, I really love my little nephew that I have. And I was like, you know what? I said, y'all should try to reach out to your dad. And he looked at me and I said, because people make mistakes. People make mistakes. They mess up. He was younger. Not saying he didn't know better, but I just don't know. And I was like, if y'all really want to meet him, I have no problem with it. Like that would be totally up to y'all. I don't think they would, but I just wanted to put that out there. Like I won't have any issue with that. My dad wasn't around when I was younger. And when I say he's the best grandfather now, you would think like when I start going back around with my kids, you would think we didn't miss a beat. So, the relationship that we have now, even the relationship I have with my mom and my dad, I would definitely say yes. Let the child decide, or the adult, whoever. Let the child decide if they really want to meet him, or yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. I feel like I feel like that's the cleanest and most the most healthiest answer, just from my perspective. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
My grandma once there was a tragedy in the family. We lost a member of the family. It was either that or my mom was going through a real nasty divorce. And after the dust cleared and all that, my grandma, she talked to me. She was just like, yo, I know that, whatever happened, but you need to see if you can find your dad. And I took that to heart. I told my mom, and where you're coming from as well, she was just on the same type time. I was like, okay, we'll go and try. I mean, we went to New York. This was years ago. We went to New York, and she didn't really know where to look. So the only place that she where to go was where he worked at last years ago, and it was apartment clothing store or whatnot. They went there. I mean, we went there. My mom went in, asked, and we found out that my dad had left the country like years ago or whatnot. So here's what I'll say to that. I never really pursued him after that. You know what I mean? Not to say that I did my due diligence, even though I did, you know what I mean? But, I'm just, my trajectory right now and my focus right now and my presence is required where I am. You know what I'm saying? So if the time should come and things should align themselves in such a way that I do get the opportunity to talk to my dad, I would love to. But I don't know if he's dead or alive right now, And if it just so happens that I go the rest of my life without seeing him, I'll be able to transition peacefully, you know what I'm saying? And it's no love lost. I know that he did some fuck shit where he did, but once again, to the benefit and to the testimony that you just dropped, niggas is young, niggas is stupid. You know what I'm saying? Niggas don't have the guidance for us to be able to, to deal with our emotions and shit. You know what I mean? At a young age. My mom was young when she had me. I think she was like, I want to say like 28. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere around that's young.
Yeah.
And so if I get the opportunity, sure. You know what I mean? But I don't lack anything. And I'm sure that you could attest to this. You know what I mean? One of the Bible verses is like, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. I don't lack anything in not being able to be a father, because I am at peace with who I am now and who I'm growing to be. I'm cool.
And another thing, moms, don't talk negative about him.
Yeah.
They will always say, "Where's my dad?" And I will always tell them that he's at work all the time. I know they probably like, after they got older, like, this nigga ain't at work all the time. Now he at work 24/7.
That's
And then I had to sit them down and break it down. But your children will definitely build up their own thought or perspective of that person, they decide to not be around, they'll figure it out and let them have their own thoughts. They'll see if he negative or positive, or if she crazy or not. Like, so you don't have to even push. I never said anything negative. I got my child support, and I was like,
Right.
we good.
Mm-hmm.
We good over here. So just don't talk negative about him or her.
Yeah, I was about to say that worked both ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I said, people be young, like sometimes you're just not ready for a kid, even when you having a kid, and you mess up sometimes. People are entitled for that opportunity, like if the child wants it. Like I know for me personally, I don't have my biological father in my life, but if the opportunity presented itself, I'd like a conversation with him. Like, but am I yearning for it? Am I like I need it? No, like I'm cool where my life is at. But yeah, I would like to, have a conversation with him, at least get to know like where his mom was at during the time I was created, just kind of get a better understanding of where he was at. And in turn, I'm hoping it help me in some way, give me a better understanding of how I might react, when I'm presented with the opportunity of being a father, so.
The crazy part is I ran into my dad on the bus.
Oh shit.
I was like, oh God. I said, there we go. Here we go. So I got on the bus and he was like, hey. And I was like, hi, very nonchalantly. And he was like, you should bring the kids by. And I was like, I ain't taking my kids over there. I gave him a picture of the three of the kids, all of the boys. And I was like, he's like, I can have it. I said, yes. I was driving and I saw him. He bow-legged, so I could spot him a mile away. So I'm like my dad. I drove up and I was like, Dad, when I tell you, when I rolled the window down, he broke his neck, kissed me all, and I got all in the car kissing me. And I'm like, okay, take my number. He's like, take my number and come past the house. And he kept calling and texting me and I wouldn't. So he called the last time. And I hung up and my kids was like, well, Mom, who was there? I was like, that was my dad. And then they was like, what he want? I said, he wanted y'all to come over. And he's like, can we go? So I avoided them for a minute. Like, my stubborn behind stuff. I'm like, no. We went over there. When I tell you, we never stopped from that point. He went to church with us. He would get them every weekend. It was like, when I say it's like nothing never missed a beat. So I feel like people that don't have their other parent around, I think God will orchestrate a meet if it's meant for that to happen.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because I was praying like, Lord, I need help with these kids. They all little and they drive me crazy. You better send me some help. These kids.
Oh.
And then I kept running into my dad.
Right.
Like, seriously. So, like they say, be careful what you pray for. When God answers your prayer, it might not be what you want, but it really worked out.
That's why you got to tell the Lord what you want exactly.
Exactly what you want.
Be specific.
Because you be like, I don't know if I want that, but that's what you asked me for. You better take it. You better take it. Yeah.
Man.
So.
And not for nothing too, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be the one advocating for people to like forgive and just be like all honky-dory with shit like that. But there's a power when it comes to being able to forgive somebody that did you wrong and shit. Especially, I don't really care too much about connections that are outside of family connections. And even sometimes there's family connections that are just too toxic to even try to salvage. But for the most, we are all growing. We are all evolving. We are all flawed. None of us are perfect enough for us to stand on any type of echelon and look down and be like, hey, because you did this, you know what I'm saying? Especially when we're all growing. So, like to the benefit of what you're saying, Ms. Davis, in your prayers, like that does something. And, like your kids are looking up to you in everything that you do. You've been here before they came. So up to you for guidance through life, through the matrix, which is the life within the life of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Just to understand the full grasp of this entire experience and shit. The kids will pick up on these things and they will see the power of the heart. They will see the power of love in what you allow for them to see through your actions. Because you can't just go with all mind power. You'll fuck yourself up if you thinking that you're going to get through life with all mind power and feel like you're going to get success. I guarantee you're going to fuck yourself up.
And you drive yourself crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. I was about to say
Like
that.
when you on nervous breakdown, you be flipped upside down. Like,
Oh,
There's only so much the mind could tolerate, you know.
seriously, because then you literally lose it,
Mm.
or you feel yourself ready to lose it, and it's like, all right, I need to fix this because I'm about to go down.
Mm.
So, a lot of, I felt like my mom and my dad had a lot to do with me dating, and I guess me picking certain people or different things. I was just like, well, I don't know.
They
Just
always
looking
say,
around like, you not sure? I'm sure. I'm not sure. I was like, you know what? So what I actually did is me and my kids, we went to therapy. Black people don't want to go get no help. Guess what? I was like, you know what? I want to make sure I'm raising them right, and I'm, not doing everything perfect, but I just want them to be okay with how I am raising them. So we went to therapy together. My oldest son went to therapy by himself. I went by myself twice. I just had to work through some things. I had issues with my mom and my dad, and because I dealt with the things that were bothering me or within me that I felt they were issues or making me toxic, or I was at one point I was just so mean, and like, I don't care, F you, yeah, but as time grow on and you mature and you grow up, and as I went to therapy, and it's like, it's not that you're doing things wrong, but you can be doing this, and this. Like, you can line things up this way, so me doing that, it grew me up faster, because I was like, oh, well, you could have did that differently. Or like, if I would say something ignorant to my kids or cuss them out, they deserve it. But then I would just feel so convicted. I would go back and apologize and explain why I, said what I said. So ain't no listen, being a parent is not easy. And I think that made me like tell the twins, like, if y'all want to meet your dad, I have no problem with that. Like, let me know. I'll take y'all. We could go. We could figure it out. I have no issues, no ill will towards him. I love my kids to death. They're the brightest twins. Like, all three of my kids, I love them to death. But the twins, like, definitely, it could have went another way because he was not here. Like, they could be out here. They could be in jail. They could be anywhere. But they, in their mind, they really set forth to do great things.
right.
So it's like, as parents, you don't do anything. You don't do everything right. I don't know what your dad's dad did to him or his mom. So it's always a reason for everything.
yeah.
So, if y'all want to figure it out, I would definitely support them with that.
Yeah. Plus, I think we kind of get like, we start idolizing the parent that did stay in most situations, and painting them with this good light because they did stay, like, overlooking, like, they probably did do something to push the other parent away. Like, we just listen to one side of the story. We're not getting the whole story, but we're creating this whole story based off of their version of things. And things aren't always as one side appears to be. Like,
And also, just because parents stay together don't mean that was a good example.
facts. That's a
Just because they married, don't, like, that don't mean that was a good example. Oh, my parents stayed together, so that
no,
don't
no, because
that don't.
why did they stay together? It could have just been financial. It could have just been
Mhm.
financial beneficial to stay together than apart. Like, and that was the only
Yeah,
reason. But y'all hate each
yeah,
other, and you just feel that
hmm
energy in the house. Like, so, like,
yeah,
no, like. But I mean, like, look, you're not. It really depends on the cards, how you play them, because like you don't get the
mhm.
choice in the cards that you get, but how you play them, how you deal with the hand and everything that's presented to you, because you're gonna get
Definitely,
your ups and downs, and you're gonna get your tough times and your good times with everybody that you encounter. I mean, anyone that you encounter. I'm sorry, I'm tongue tied. Um, but like, it's just all about how you do it, like how you go about that situation, because
yeah. It's about what you
what you
pull out of it,
yeah
what you take. Like I said, I'm not going to do this because my dad did this to my mom. But like you said, you got to flip it.
yeah
I'm going to do this. My dad did show my mom this type of love, so I'm going to do that. And the other thing that you're not going to do, just have it in your head, like,
yeah, like whatever it is, be like, you know what, I
mhm,
want to bring my wife flowers. I ain't see
mhm,
that done to my mom, and I know how much my mom loved flowers. I'm
exactly,
gonna bring my wife
right,
flowers every day, or every
mhm,
week, or whatever. Like, just whatever it is, just project that instead of what you don't want out of the situation.
Not every day, Dash.
Huh.
Not every day. Not flowers every day.
Oh no, I'm just I'm just drawing right now. I'm drawing
I
right
know.
now. Unless you dropping
It's
off
okay.
at the
I'm
garden
just
and you
messing with
cutting
you.
off a little drawing like.
I'm just messing with you. If you want to do flowers every day, listen.
No.
You got it like that.
If I'm doing flowers every day, I'm pulling them out my personal garden. Here you go,
Why
baby.
you pull them, nigga? Damn, they gonna die.
Look, bro, I got a whole garden. She could go outside and enjoy it. Like,
Every day, yeah. They'll last for the day.
yeah, like it's only a day. If I'm giving them every day,
Yeah. Yeah.
house full of flowers. Like,
oh, look at these comments. That African butterfly said, facts. My mom's divorce was the best thing that could have happened for all of our mental stability. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong or what either one of us are saying wrong in this chat. Because word to Miss Davis, man, parenting, I can only imagine, but that shit is not easy.
Mm-hmm.
Requires a lot of energy. It requires a lot of dedication. It requires a lot of selflessness. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you ain't gonna get it right the whole time. You're learning as your kids are growing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But shit, if you realize that this shit ain't clicking the way that this shit should be clicking for a healthy relationship.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And believe me, having adult children is even more harder as a parent. I was like, oh, it's getting easier. Oh, it's different. It's different because they think they're grown now, so it's like they really got to learn their lessons. But if it's to my estate, I'm like, just learn how to listen. I want you to have what you want to have, but if I can stop you from some heartbreak or some pocket break, just listen. So I guess that come with growth as well. Everybody gotta
learn through
bite
your
a couple
mistakes.
bullets. Mm-hmm.
And that's a great part about I guess that might be like the hardest part about parenting, like at least like when I hear my mom talk about me and my sister, that's why I interpret from her, like the hardest part is letting go, but also like feeling the need to want to hold on at the same time. Cause it's like this stuff, like obviously like if I were to listen to her advice, I'd be well off. But at the same time, it's just like, nah, at the moment, my mindset was, no, I'm gonna do it my way. Like I hear what you're saying, but I'm gonna still do it my way and how I envision things to work out. And when
I think because parents nag so much, at some point you just be like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. I'm gonna listen to my friend's mom or my friend. Because it's sometimes you need to break off, like, and that's the thing, like the detached part. Why you just ain't listen to me? And it's like, yo, you nag all the time, and you my mom. I'm gonna listen to his mom, and I'm like, I told you the same thing. The twin gonna say, oh yeah, Pop told me don't let the one twin drive my car no more. I said, didn't I tell you that? I told you that. He gonna say, oh yeah, both of y'all told me, so now I'm gonna listen. But it took my dad like to put same thing, but it came from both. He's like, all right, Pop said this, and he was really upset, and it upset me, so I'm gonna listen. So sometimes it take another person, as long as they eventually get it before it's a wreck. I guess that's what really matters. But in my head, I'm like, I told you.
That's a part of
I know. That's the hard part.
Like, yo, listen, look, you know what I mean? And once again, I'm removed because I'm not a parent. But God,
right.
Like, shit. Ain't but so many times I'm gonna tell you something before you gonna have to learn that shit. One of my favorite adages that my mom used to tell me when I was young growing up was the deer that does not hear when the hunter approaches will feel when the hunter shoots.
Oh, you ain't lying. That's a good one.
I know. That's one of those southern moms right there.
It is. That's a good one. It's definitely a good one.
So hold on, we got some comments popping right now, and Von Brown, this crazy. Shout out to Von Brown, you know what I mean? Shout out to Von Brown. He's a comedian. Once again, I always got preferences because sometimes he be saying some crazy shit. And this is one of the reasons why I don't even like buying flowers. It's for like dates or for my lady or anything. He said, I will give flowers to get her warmed up to smash. Listen,
Don't say that.
it's
That's
it's
that's
that
a
it's that reason why it's certain things that I see being done that I'm like, I can't do it, because I'll be damned if a motherfucker put me in the same box as somebody else because we look similar in how we do it and shit. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with flowers. Flowers is a smooth gesture. It's a cool, you know what?
it's all how you present it. You know, don't let what some other person doing with the game. You know, change how you play it. You know,
Fuck
like
that. Fuck the game. I'm breaking this bitch. I want to buy a new system. I want to buy a whole new system.
yeah, that's
I
not
mean,
gonna stop me. I mean, like, look, that's just a benefit of it. Look, she was gonna want to give you the pussy regardless whether you brought
if
the
you got the
flowers or
flowers
not.
or not.
You know, like the flowers are just a bonus. So, like, you could bring the flowers and still not get it. Like, they're not a
Right.
guarantee that you're getting it. You know, that's
If they
just
want to,
that's
if a woman want to give it to you, she gonna give it to you. If you bring her flowers, candy, or nothing,
yeah,
she gonna give it to you. She gonna give it to you.
Yeah,
facts.
that's
So
Like, if you got the juice, you got the juice. Like, if you don't, you don't.
yeah, if you don't, try harder next time.
yeah.
mm, mm. Pretty Rude said, I don't want flowers. I want an LLC.
I talk that business talk, baby. Like,
Word up. Word up. All right, so Miss Davis, let me ask you this. Uh, so you've gone through therapy to
Hmm.
to do the shadow work, if you will, necessary for you to identify the places within yourself that you can improve upon and that you can strengthen and whatnot. And you've obviously grown through maturity to get to a certain space in which the things that harmed you or hurt you or even affected you in a negative way don't affect you the same way now. You know what I'm saying? So where, like, through everything that you have walked through, as far as being able to transmute energy and being able to be still, if you will, and just your growth, what is something that you could pull away from now, as far as you being a parent now, that you couldn't pull from your past self 5 years ago, as far as being a parent?
What can I pull away? So now I am, as far as my kids are concerned, or just period.
Period.
Um, Let me use this as an example. 5 years ago, I wouldn't have gotten my license to carry. I wouldn't have gotten a gun.
that's
So
essential nowadays.
I think I got my license. I think in the summer.
Yeah.
I think in the summer. So now, like, my mindset is different. I think things through more before I react. I try to think it through before I go to cuss somebody out or ready to choke my kids. Or my oldest son, I wanted to choke him a whole bunch of times. So I'm more patient. I talk to them more. And I'd step back and I try to see if it's me. Did I overreact? Am I just emotional? Is my menstrual on? Is it a full moon, a blue moon, an orange moon? Like, I try to figure out before I respond or react to certain things now.
Right.
I really try to sit back and like think it through and, just, I don't want no bad karma coming back on me.
Mm.
I think a lot of things I did when I was younger, as a younger parent or as a younger person, a lot of stuff that flipped back was probably the way I responded or reacted or the way I've done stuff.
Mm.
So now, I want positive karma coming back on my kids. It's so bad out here now. I'm like, listen, if I can support and promote some positivity, let's go with that. And anything that is not on that lines with me mentally and in my growth, I'm just dropping it. If it's a friendship, if it's family, if it's my kids, listen, that negative side, I don't want that negative energy. Like you said, when you don't know that you're pushing that negative energy out, that's one thing. But once you know and you've grown, it's like, nah.
Right.
Like, you ain't coming to me positively, I'm dropping it. Like, I don't want it. I'm good. I'll listen. Like, oh, okay. Great. You'll never hear from me again. It's growth. Like certain stuff is just like, yo, I'm not making time for it
Mm,
at the age of 43,
mm,
going to 44. I'm not.
right.
So, um,
You look good
I
for
guess
'43.
it's
Like,
just, I honestly, I just think it took time for me to get there. Like growth, maturity, just being more patient with myself, being more patient with my kids. Like I said, no one is perfect. So people can get chances, but after a while, it's like,
I think patience is something that you learn over time. Anything, anyway, because I don't think you can be patient and young. Because younger, I thought I was patient until I got put into situations I really need to be patient for, and I seen how little my patience really is when it's something that means so much to me. Like, and I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah. But as I got older, it became a lot easier to be patient with the situation. Be like, all right, you know what? It's not happening right now. It's not I can do about that. It is what it is. Just embrace it. Like, it come when it come, like, and I just live with that how it is. But yeah, I don't feel like patience is a young man's thing. Like, I think any young person saying that they're patient really hasn't been put in a position where they really had to be patient for something that they truly wanted.
But I think when they think they're patient, that's when we're tested though. It's like, that's when that test come and be like, you still got some work to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fact. Pretty Rude said, low vibrational beings, part of me, can't be around you till they elevate and come correct. That's a super fact. Meteor Man said, patience is the number one thing I gotta work on. That's everybody, bro. They ain't
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
that's
That's everybody, man. That's everybody.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
And this nigga here, listen, hold on. Von Brown, Von Brown said, nah, men love women in their 20s. No disrespect. Less miles, which is not necessarily true. More cooperation, less experiences, less baggage, less Listen, hold on. Look, this is what we're gonna do, right? Because we
That's not such the case all the time with these young girls, because a lot of these young bucks is getting it in early and
I'm
often.
about to say
Like,
like
like 13, she might have twins. Like,
look.
it's a different time now.
yeah, like
You
back in
got
the
to be
day,
very.
yeah.
You better tread lightly.
Like she might have more. The 17-year-old John might have more miles than a 50-year-old John on the block. Like,
Talk about it. Talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And
Tread lightly.
And don't get me wrong, when I was younger, because I want to say Pretty Rude. Yeah, Pretty Rude said this: young men like older women, older men like young women. Yeah, for the most part, yeah, that's what it is. When I was younger, I was definitely on the type time where it's like, yeah, I want an older woman because like the experience, the wisdom, all that shit. I was a real wisdom nut when I was younger and shit. You know what I mean? Like I would be reading books, like certain esoteric knowledge, articles, and this, that, just to enhance the way I thought and shit like that. I ain't gonna hold you. When you get older, I'm not gonna say when I got older, I was like looking directly to younger women. Nah, like, but the gravitation just made sense for me to be like within my range. Like my lady 3 years younger than me, so I'm 34. She's 30. She turned 31 later on this year and shit, right? So, but it's still a window for me. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, if I was walking and I had knowledge of self and you were just being born, that's weird for me to try to date you. Like, I don't give a fuck if I'm 50 and you're like 34. That means I was 16 fucking years old when you were born. That fucks with me. That fucks.
Yeah, I thought I was the only one. I dated a few younger guys, and it in my head I was like, they're younger, like they're younger, like So
I don't
yeah.
know. I never experienced that when I dated older women. I never really thought about the age difference really until like we were around other people or other people noticed it. Like when other people made a big issue about it was when I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, there's an age difference. But when it was just me and her, nah. It's just like, all right, you know what, you put me onto different things. I might put you on to a good thing. and we just enjoy what this is. Like,
It all depends. The maturity matters.
Yes,
yeah,
yes, yes.
If you're on the same level, maturity, the mentally, physically, emotionally, or, everything lines up. The age doesn't matter.
That's a fact.
But if a woman is dating somebody younger and he's immature, that's gonna go fast.
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa, that's not gonna last.
I was about to say, look, I say this. Women have a lower tolerance for the shit that they know don't build them and don't add to them. That's one of many things that I salute women for. Like even the young woman, they don't add to it. Like she gone, like it's going, something's going to click for her. For niggas, I can't say that. Like I know niggas, they have a, like, you know what I'm saying, because there's a thing about the pussy. It is what it is. You know what I mean? A nigga will go to ruin over the pussy, and they won't even look at, you know what I'm saying, what it's doing to them, because they would just think that they could like multitask and be able to get something else to supplement what's lacking over here. Whole time you put more responsibility and accountability and all this shit on your plate. But you thinking that you just, like, you got your 60% here, you got your 15% here, you got your 25% here, like, hi, my nigga.
true. I ain't gonna deny that. Like, if pussy has a huge control over men, like that. That's well known. Like that's why I say, like women control everything, because we'll do any and everything to get that pussy, like it's just as long as, well, we do whatever the women allow us to do, we're not going to overstep our boundaries more than we feel like we can,
Yeah, but women don't know, all women don't know they hold the power. That's the problem.
Yeah,
That's the biggest problem.
that's true. They don't,
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's it.
Von Brown flags.
He said what?
Von Brown got flagged.
He got flagged? By who? Damn.
Oh shit!
Oh shit! Damn.
Oh,
Yeah, flag the PVM. Oh, that's a first.
he said IG is soft.
Yo, that is hilarious. Butterfly said, it's crazy how men always love to talk about the miles on women, but not on themselves. Listen, let's keep things all the way funky. No double standard. If we talk about miles, that shit work both ways. I tell something for real. I was never self-conscious about my history until I got in a relationship I'm in right now with my lady. And I realized that because she's really laser sharp and focused with who she decides to be in a relationship with. So as far as the periphery, none of that shit mattered, because as far as, like, you know what I'm saying, the intimacy and as far as relationships, she had a significantly lesser amount than me. And it made me so, whoa. Like, and I thought I was chilling because, like, in comparison to me and other motherfuckers, I'm like, oh man, I'm inexperienced. Like, I don't even got that. But then you come in and you have to sit and have some real life conversations. You like,
I feel you. But my experience has been more in line with Brian saying right here, with the women want to know that you know what you're doing, and men, we want less miles, because the women I've encountered or I've been in relationships with, they all preferred me to have a nice little catalog of women I've been through, like they preferred the fact of knowing, like, oh, okay, you're experienced, so you know what you're doing, as opposed to you haven't dealt with this many women, so you probably don't know how to take care of my needs, so for them, like, it was a plus, like,
But everybody
isn't the same
body is different.
right.
So you can have as much experience as you want. When you touch me, I may not feel nothing and don't want to deal with you no more after the first time. So that experience don't really mean anything, because each individual person is completely different.
Yes, that's a fact. That's a super fact. Some women like it rough. Some women like it soft. Some women like a certain transition with it. Some women don't even like for you to touch them unless you could break this barrier first. Like,
Yep.
different, my nigga.
Bingo.
Different.
True. But the more encounters you have with multiple women, the more ways you know how to do all these things. So I feel like you're more knowledgeable to activate all these things out of these women. Like, I wouldn't feel like you getting all these women and you don't know what you're doing once you get
No,
there. Like,
you having experience is great, but that don't mean that you can do something for me.
it don't mean I
You
can't either, though.
It don't. It don't. But everybody's body is literally different, or what they like, what turns them on, what their thing is. It's just everybody different.
True. I think both of them could be true at the same time. Like, I don't think you're saying anything wrong. I just think both of us saying two things from the separate side of the coin.
Word.
I'm not gonna jack you up, Dash. It's okay.
No, I ain't jammed up. I'm single out on these streets. Like, I ain't nothing to jam up. Like,
Not I'm not gonna jack you up. It's okay.
Oh, that's okay. Look.
Different perspectives is how we
Grow.
we get to see different. That's it.
That's
it.
Each mommy said women want less miles. I'm not cuffing no whore. I don't think nobody want to cuff a whore. Let's keep it.
Yeah, don't nobody want to cuff a whore, but the majority of everybody that had a bundle of people.
Yeah.
So I mean, at some point, everybody was a whore at one point.
Yeah.
And guess what? The majority of them probably married.
I was about to say that, because I was about to say, what defines the whore? Like, how many numbers define you as a whore? Like,
I don't even think it's about numbers as much as it is about your accessibility. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's that easy for you to jump into bed, or if it's that easy for you to be swayed, you a whore. And I don't give a fuck if you a man or a woman. I don't give two fucks. You have 10 bodies. You can have 10 bodies on your counter. And if all it takes is for somebody to be like, hey, baby. Oh, you are. And let's be for real. For the niggas, let's say you got 9 bodies. Let's say you got 9 bodies. You looking for that 10 and whatnot. And then all it takes is for a woman to brush up on your shoulder, like, sorry. And you go, boing, 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 boing. You are. Control your fucking self, man.
But I mean, if the gentleman is single, like, are you really mad at him?
Yes.
Like, if he can get it?
A single whore.
I mean, when you're single, I feel like you entitled to be a whore if you want to. Like, if you want to be a whore that night, like, you're entitled to be. Like, I can't get mad at you if you're single, you see something that you like, and your natural man urges arise, and you want to take that down. You want to take that down. Like,
just don't be drunk and take home a gorilla, and then you wake up in the morning like, whoa.
Now, I haven't done that since my early 20s. Like, I haven't fucked up like that, like, in a long time. Like,
got a gorilla on their resume. If you've been working, if you've been outside,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was young, I was horny, I was drunk, and I was doing my thing. Like, it happens. Like, we all live, but that's how you have stories to tell. That's how you know, and you know how to grow. Now I know if I go to the bar, I'm going to bring one of my boys. That way, if I'm feeling a little buzz, I can tap to my man and be like, yo, how she look? If my man give me the thumbs up, I know, okay, proceed. If he like, no, bro, that's a no-fly zone. Like, I know, okay, bartender, let me close out my tab. Let me go on home because, I'm fucking up right now.
Dash, you don't even seem like that type of person.
No, only on occasion, because I'm more of a smoker than a drinker.
Okay.
Oh Lord.
That's how I know it's time for me to go. When I'm slipping like that.
Ooh, Kang says something that's real ill, and I actually wanted to say the same vein. I agree with this shit completely. It's a cheating whore no one wants. That's so fucking real. Ain't nothing like being in a relationship and you can slut each other out. Ain't nothing like it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing like it. So like
slut each other out. Slut each other out. Define that. Slut each other out. Give me a define that.
I mean, all the nasties. I'm talking about whatever. I'm with it. You with it, and it's between us. We creating our own world. We painting on our own canvas.
That sounds good in theory, but when she gonna have the time to do that? between these
Like,
jobs, the kids, you know, day-to-day lives, you know, like,
nigga, you make time. What you mean? You make time to make money, right? You make
yeah,
time to make love.
They ain't love if you're a cheating whore.
No. That's what I'm saying. Not if you were cheating,
yeah.
but just
Oh,
or.
Oh,
No.
that's why I'm like, oh, okay. I'm just
wait a minute,
like, when
Jeide.
you got the
Wait
time,
a minute.
like,
You threw me. Wait a minute. Okay.
Right. Just a whore for the person that you with. You know what I'm saying? Not
Oh
like
yeah, that's
just like
yeah.
okay.
bing bong bing. You know what I mean?
Well, you kind of scared me. I was lost. I was lost.
So
I
she
was
gonna
way
let me
lost.
do whatever I want to her, and in turn, I'm gonna let her do whatever she wants to me.
Within your
Yeah.
relationship,
Yeah.
within
Yes.
yeah,
Okay,
definitely,
Yes.
definitely,
I'm with that. Yeah.
yeah.
But
That makes sense.
I thought that
You
was
scared me.
automatic. Like when you get into
Mhm.
a relationship, I thought that was supposed to be like automatic. Like if I'm giving you all of me, I expect all of you in return. You know.
Mm, mm. That's,
Mm.
that's fair. That's real.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
Don't
But I
start.
mean, look, this is.
Dance, don't start. Dance, don't. You be showing off. Don't start.
Cause y'all
He
be
gets
having me
so
triggered.
upset.
I'll be reminiscing about some shit I gotta get off my chest.
we rounded off on the hour point. You know what I'm saying? Miss Davis, thank you for joining us, for being transparent, for being a wonderful and wisdom-filled guest and speaker to this topic this evening. But before we go out, you already know we got traditions, and we would like to know what's your lasting word, what's the last thing you want to leave on the table as far as this conversation is concerned.
If your parents are not around, if you're older, give them a chance if the opportunity presents itself. Um, give your children a chance to explain, communicate with you. Don't jump off the handle. Like, just be patient. That's the one thing I've learned. Be patient. If you need help from what your parents have done to you or things you've seen within your family, get therapy, get help so you can have a clearer mind to move forward. Because if you not good for yourself, you're not going to be good for your family or nobody else.
That's so
So
true.
that's my closing.
That's so true.
And thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank
When
you
I
for
said
joining us.
I was going to try to join though, I didn't mean like this. And he was like, "Well, what kind of topic?" I was like, "Oh, okay, well." I just was like, I'm gonna make sure I get on because on Wednesdays I teach.
Right on.
Wednesday I was like, okay, it's fine. I'll throw my wig on and be ready. So
Right on.
Well, I mean, I'm glad that you did do this live with us. You're the first lady for
thank
Women's
you.
Month, so that's
Thank
big.
you. Yes.
And we talked about you doing the live before, so this was even more major.
Yes. Yes.
In fact, our first encounter was you telling me you wanted to get on the live because we had the live. What was it, like last summer or something when we was at
Hmm.
CC party? So
Oh yeah. Yep.
this was a long
Hmm.
time coming. So
Yeah.
thank you for joining.
We're finally free. I mean, free to be on here. Free to be on here together.
Right on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So
All right, well, I'll go here. Well, first let me shout out T-shirt Mercenary because he got the T-shirts for us. You guys can order your PVM T-shirts now by tapping into the DM, letting us know your size and all that other stuff, and we can get it to you. Ms. Davis, your shirt is on the way, as well as with the
Thank you.
others who are getting their shirts because they sent in the pictures and stuff.
Okay.
Also subscribe to the YouTube channel, search Positive Vibes Maybe. Subscribe, like, follow, share that thing. And my lasting words for today is going to be patience. Patience and understanding. I think those are the keys to any successful relationship, platonic or not, family, romantic, whatever the case may be. Remember to be patient with the individual and also be understanding of their point of view. A lot of times we handle situations directly from our point of view,
Hmm.
unclear as to how the person may be, what they may be going through, how they may be feeling, how they may be receiving what you're saying to them. So be understanding, be patient, trust the process.
yes, I dig that. And my lasting word is gonna piggyback off of yours, and I'm gonna just say, I'm gonna just throw the virtual listening out there. You know what I mean? There's very few things that are as beautiful, as beneficial, and as fruitful as being able to listen to the woman in your life. The women intrinsically, they just wired. Shit that they pay attention to, the shit that they tapped into, it's a blessing if you listen to the woman in your life, because look, shit, the type of shit that they put you onto, and the type of shit that can expand as far as what y'all building, it benefits. It's like, why the fuck wouldn't you want to? You know what I'm saying? It's like, she doesn't want to see you do bad, because if you do bad, it reflects poorly on her. Doesn't want to see you fucked up, because that just shows, you know what I'm saying, what type of person she is to you in conjunction to what the relationship is. You know what I'm saying? It's a synergetic exchange. You listen to your woman, the world is yours.
Yo, Ryan killing me. He said, not the woman that blow hookah into the camera. Like, well, you gotta enjoy it. Ladies gonna be ladies at ladies' night, you know. Like,
I go by the name of Jeide H. It's been a beautiful evening. Miss Davis, thank you once again. We love you. We thank you, and all the love and blessings your way. We appreciate
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
thank you for joining us.
All right. Bye.
We see you guys Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This has been Positive Vibes Maybe. That's Miss Davis. I'm Dash. That's Jeide. Y'all enjoy y'all night.
Slipping now. I'm gonna put the do not disturb on first before we